There's lots of things that we as professionals can do to support children, young people, families, victims and perpetrators who are affected by domestic abuse. When we think about children, it's really important that if they do come to us to make disclosures, what we really need to make them aware is that it's not their fault. They are not responsible for the behaviour of adults. No way are they responsible for having to step in and intervene when incidents occur. We need to make sure that they fully understand that they are not to blame. It's really important that we listen to children, let children have a voice. Let's listen to what they have to say and find out how that experience of living in that home is impacting on their emotional health and their physical health.
Another really good way would just be to ask just generally open questions that seem very just easygoing. How's home? How's everything going? How are you liking it? And you can say that to an adult as well as a child. And if they don't feel like you're probing for, a negative answer, they might be more likely to give you an honest account of what's going on. And just reassuring them and just letting them know that whatever it is that they need to talk about, you are there for them, and reinforcing that the child deserves to be safe, they deserve to be happy, they deserve to be heard, because a lot of children might feel like that's not the case, especially if they are hearing a lot of verbally domestic abuse in the home, including a lot of talking down to each other, lots of saying, you can't tell anyone about this, or you're not worth this kind of thing. So actually establishing that there are people that can help them and that the situation isn't normal. It's not okay for them to be in a violent situation.
Well, the NSPCC helpline is a really good place for people to get support from. We have a lot of experienced practitioners at the helpline who have worked in domestic abuse settings. If there's an emergency at home as well and somebody needs to flee domestic abuse, we can offer that support, and we can make referrals to the police and children's services just to get that family support.
So one really good resource for helping children through domestic abuse in the home is to give them the Childline number.
Certainly when you're having conversations with children and young people, you might find that it's appropriate to start considering safety planning with that child. What do they do if an incident happens in the home? Where's a safe place in the home for them to go? Where's a safe place for them outside of the home to go? Do they have a telephone number of someone they can contact? Even things like making sure that they have telephone numbers written down on a piece of paper in case their parent or a perpetrator takes their phone. Things like that can really make a child feel that they've got a plan and that they're not powerless or helpless.
At home, children don't always have access to phones and computers, especially if it's a very controlling environment. So agencies need to sort of have the resource in schools so that children can contact Childline.
So the NSPCC has received charity funding for a 3-year domestic abuse project. The funding is being used to employ new staff to the helpline that are going to be able to answer additional domestic abuse contacts. It's also employed 2 domestic abuse advisors who are specialists in the field of domestic abuse. And it has also been used to fund tracking and impact practitioners so that we can actually follow up and assess what's happened with those contacts that we receive, so that we can ensure that the members of the public who have contacted us, what's happened, what is the impact of their contact with the NSPCC. What we need to be able to do is offer some really sensitive support to help those parents and those families recognise that the behaviour demonstrated by the children is as a result of the abuse, and to be able to offer them some kind of support and strategies to manage that behaviour in a sensitive manner that understands where that behaviour has come from. With the right support and the right management and the right handling from professionals, children and families can recover from domestic abuse.